This video is about answering the question, why do Shotokan Sensei insist that their students do low stances? Yeah, always telling them to go lower, lower. Why do we do that? The TLDR, or the TLDW, too long didn't watch, answer is so that we make our legs stronger. But if you'll allow me, I'll kind of circle around back to that. So the styles of karate that were developed in Japan in the early decades of the 20th century, they were all started by Okinawan men such as Funakoshi Gichin, the father of modern karate, or men that learned from Okinawan. So all of these styles came from Okinawa, and those men there in Okinawa learned them or were heavily influenced by the Chinese who came to Okinawa for trade or other kind of diplomatic missions and whatnot. So in China, China had many different styles of martial arts, and they're generally divided into northern and southern styles. And all of the karate styles that arose in Japan have influences. They all have influences from both of the southern and northern styles. The northern styles were centered in the Shaolin Temple in Hainan province, and Shotokan, I think, emphasizes more of the northern influence than the southern, although there's both. And that is, Shotokan tends to be considered a hard style of karate. So what does that mean? It means the techniques are more linear rather than circular. They emphasize lower stances rather than higher stances. Big moves, big ranges of motion versus smaller, quicker moves. Long range delivery of techniques versus techniques done at very close distance. Moving, there's a lot of movement in Shotokan Kata rather than just staying rooted in place. And there's a lot of kicks, including high kicks and leaping in Shotokan, and aggressive charges. And some of those things are the reasons why Shotokan is considered less practical as a self-defense martial art. And I believe it's true, and that's why we have to work harder to adapt what we do to actual self-defense. So to demonstrate what I mean, like one of the very first things we teach students is a long-range linear technique, the stepping punch. Your stances are low, but you're still covering a lot of ground. And the punches in Heian Shodan, the first one's here, and then the second 2 and 3 are charging. So there's a lot of aggressive charging. Same with the front snap kick. It's kind of a long-range technique. And what else? Our low stances. We really emphasize the low stances. Sometimes we do the Kibidachi challenge. How long can you stay in the Kibidachi? Things like that. Front stance low. So and the beginner's katas of Shotokan are mostly those moves. Of course, we have the Gedanbarai, which is kind of a circular movement. Even the knife hand is a strike. Is a hard strike. Most of our things are hard strikes. As you get up into the more advanced kata, you start to see this is Meikyo. It does a lot of this. You have Hungetsu. And then it's all slow. I'm doing it quickly now, but it's slow, big circular movements in one place. Niju Shiho has this. Circular movements in short steps, close in technique. So that, as you get up into the more advanced kata of Shotokan, they get some of those southern influences, the rooted in place stances, the short range techniques, circular stuff. But kind of the hallmark of Shotokan is our launching techniques from a distance. So I've asked Bob to help me demonstrate here. So we have our stepping punch, or to the Jodan, Follows the palm heel. So there's a lot of power generated through the linear technique, a lot of power at the point of impact, and also by the delivery of our body moving through space. All the momentum generated by the mass of our whole body adds. If I was to just do punches here, that's one thing. If I'm moving through space, I get a lot more power from it. So what's the point? The point is to be able to get that explosive movement. Not that I was demonstrating explosive movement, but the way you get there is through very strong leg muscles. That allows you to launch those techniques, to do the long range kicks, to leap high off the ground too, which I'm not going to do today. I have joint issues that prevent that at the moment. But that's why we tell everyone, stay in your low stances and learn to move through those low stances. Of course, as you get up in years, your joints don't allow you to get as low as you once did. Well, or they don't allow you to move in that. It's one thing to stand here in this stance. It's another to, in this low stance, it's another to move. It's not as easy. But for the younger people who are doing it, they should be made to do low stances. This will build their leg strength, build their stability, their ability to keep it balanced, and their ability to move quickly. That's why we do low stances.